G'day people, I'm Sharon, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how I make labels for my Quilt As You Go quilts and how I attach them in such a way that the Quilt As You Go process is what joins the label into the quilt. My machine is on, but I want to put it into embroidery mode, and it gives me warnings to make sure I know where things should be and whether I should have a hoop on or not when I'm doing various things. This is the home screen for embroidery. I have an edit screen, a monogramming or lettering screen, and I have the built-in designs in the machine. I'm going to go to the edit screen, and this is currently set to the correct size of hoop that I want, but if it wasn't, I would go up here and I could select whichever hoop I wanted. I'm going to make a quilt label in here. Now, because I've already got this screen open, when I go to the home screen and open my lettering, when I say OK to whatever lettering I've done, it's going to be taken into that edit screen. I'm going to work with medium, that's fine. I'm going to start by choosing my font. And I'm going to go back to Gothic just to make things as easy as possible. I can have the lettering either running left to right, as you would expect, or I can change it here and having it going top to bottom. It will still look like normal lettering. The letters won't be one above the other, but they will be going down the hoop, and that means that if you've got a rectangular hoop in, you can get more letters that way. Small, medium and large. Small, the letters are 1 centimetre, medium they're 2, large they're 3, and we have here lowercase and uppercase lettering. I'm just going to put my name in. So S lowercase, and when I go OK, it goes into the middle, or just above the middle of the line. That's perfect, what I want. If I use this to move things around, it's going to stay right in the middle. If I start grabbing this and shifting it, I'm not sure where in the screen I'm putting it. I have to look pretty carefully. If you've shifted something and now you want to get it back to the middle, come down here, and that crosshair in the middle will take the design to the very centre. I'm going to put some more information in here. So I'm going to move that name down out of the way, and I'm going to have on the label which design it is. And so I need to go back to the lettering. So I go back to the home screen and the lettering, and it's still set up how it was. I'm going to make this one large. I need to go back to uppercase. Whoops, I've made a mistake. When you've made a mistake and left something out, you can go back there and then insert the letter, or if you've done something completely wrong and you have to get rid of that, there's the bin. These are my spaces. I have a wide space or a narrow space. I'm going to go with the wide one. And now I need to find my numbers. So if I come down here, it's 083. And now I'm going to take that line of text and put it in here. Well, that's a bit big for what I want, so I actually don't want that. I'm going to bin that one, and we'll try again. In here, I think I will continue with the medium. And I'll just put a narrow space in this time. Okay, and there it is. And I can move that one up. Now that I've got these two, I think that's all that I want to put in it. I'm not sure if you can see, but there is actually a green border around that part of the design. If I touch on this one, this is now highlighted and it's got the green, and now this will move that one. And that's all I want to put in here in terms of text. But I would like to put a frame around that. So I'm coming down here, getting something out of a folder. At the moment, the machine is going looking for what's in the internal memory of the machine. I want it to look on my USB key. I'm going to look in my borders, and I'm going for a 23 centimetre one. I could just do a plain square one, but I think I quite like that. In fact, is that one a bit big? I'm going to go and have another look. Let's see. My borders. I will go and get a 20 centimetre one. That one. I think that one suits me better. So this big one on the outside, I've got the green line around all of that now. I'm going to bin that one. I've decided I don't want that one. The final thing that I want to stitch out is my template square. To make my template square, or to get my template square, I'm getting design out of there. So we're still looking at the USB key, and I'm going to go to my, I think I've got it in the borders as well. You can see there's a red square, that's the 14 centimetre one, and I need to get the 23 centimetre one, and there it is. Now it's pretty hard to see, but there is a red square all the way around the outside. So I am now all set up for what I want to sew on my label, and at that point I say OK. It's telling me which hoop it's going to be in, OK, and there is the design. There's 3 colours. It's going to do the black first, and then the gold, and then the red. I can, of course, do them all in the same colour if I wish, but you can see they're all there, and it's ready for me to sew. I stitched the whole lot out in one colour, so each time it stopped and expected me to change threads, I just press start again. I've hooped up my fabric and some tearaway in the correct size hoop, and now I'm going to stitch this out all in the one colour. I am not doing one stitch stop because I don't need to. The back of it won't ever be seen. We're ready to begin. I'm not actually showing a lot of the stitching of this. It was pretty boring, and in total the design took about 20 minutes to stitch out. Cut out my piece with the same seam allowance that I do all of my other pieces, just under 1/4 inch. And now I did that with the tearaway still on the back, and now I'm tearing the tearaway off. and it does quite literally tear off. To put my backing onto the back of my quilt square. Whenever you're applying a backing to a square or rectangular object, always make sure you do 2 parallel sides and then do the other ends. If you don't, it always ends up that the very last bit that you try to stitch, one piece will be shorter than the other, and it's very frustrating. By doing 2 sides and then the top and bottom, you usually get a better result. There it is, all ready to go into my quilt. That's the label. There's the quilt square. And as it gets put into the quilt, the label gets put into the quilt as well. It's really quite easy. Just find yourself a part of your Quilt As You Go quilt. Make a label to go on the back of it, whether it's one that you've handwritten or whatever. Stitch it to the back. And then as you're joining your Quilt As You Go square in, your label goes in as well. Hope you've learned something, and see you next time.